Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at what is honestly a massive, massive leap forward in artificial intelligence. If you've been feeling like your AI tools are getting just a little bit fragmented, bouncing between one app for chatting, another one for coding, maybe jumping out to a browser to search the web, well, I was absolutely amazed to see how this new ChatGPT 5.6 update is going to turn our workflows completely upside down. We're talking about capabilities that scale all the way from just tidying up your messy desktop folders to literally autonomously coding 3D cities over the course of a week. Okay, let's dive into this. I really want you to imagine just for a second an AI that seamlessly connects to every single aspect of your workflow. It knows what meetings you have coming up, it knows the exact tone of voice you use when you email your clients, and it can even see the files sitting right there on your hard drive. And the absolute best part? It does all of this without you ever needing to switch tabs, log into different portals, or juggle a dozen different software tools. To really appreciate this, we kind of have to look at how we used to work. The old workflow was, let's be real, incredibly clunky. You had your standard chat interface, you had a separate IDE for coding, you'd have to jump out to a standard web browser to do any research, and if you actually wanted to build a website, you had to figure out hosting and databases just to get the thing online. Well, this new unified workspace mashes all of OpenAI's offerings into one streamlined product. You've got your chat, you've got codecs for your heavy-duty development work, a built-in browser that actually logs into websites as you, and this amazing feature called Sites that instantly hosts whatever you build and puts it live on the web. Now, what makes this unified workspace so ridiculously powerful is the sheer volume of integrations. We're talking direct connections to Slack, Gmail, Google Drive, Granola for your meeting notes, Canva, and so much more. By granting the app read-only access to these platforms, the AI essentially learns the DNA of your daily operations. It literally sees your Slack conversations, it reads through your meeting transcripts, it knows exactly what is on your calendar. It basically has a real-time 360-degree view of your business. So you might be wondering, how do you actually harness all of that data? Well, creator Matt Wolf shared the exact three-step playbook he used to configure his own dedicated personal assistant project inside the app. Step 1, he granted the AI read-only access to his entire suite of apps. Step 2, he prompted the AI to analyze his sent emails and work chats from the last 12 months to build a highly accurate voice profile. And then step 3, he set a project-wide trigger. This makes it so that this specific all-knowing skill is required for every single prompt he types in that workspace. It proactively retrieves all of his context instantly. Because the AI has this deep foundational context built in, you can literally just ask it, hey, what's on my calendar, Slack, and email this week? Are there things you can take off my plate? And the results are just staggering. In Matt's case, the AI proactively recognized he was speaking on a panel at the Open Source conference. It combed through all of his past chats, journals, and projects, and autonomously whipped up a 32-page panel preparation document filled with his own personal anecdotes and stories. In another instance, he told it to find local business leads and pitch them AI consulting services. The AI researched the companies, found the exact contacts, and instantly drafted 20 highly personalized sales emails right into his Gmail drafts folder, written in his exact tone of voice. No way, right? Actually, here's a really fun, slightly meta fact for you. The source material we're analyzing for today's explainer, the AI actually helped outline it. Using its built-in browser, the AI physically logged into Matt's X and Instagram accounts, like actually navigating the sites as an authenticated user instead of using those expensive limited APIs, just to scrape real-world examples of how people are using the new GPT 5.6 models. So think for a second about your own day. Think about those incredibly annoying, repetitive microtasks that completely derail your focus. You know the ones, moving files around, renaming images, sorting documents. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this new AI app actually handles local file management right there on your machine. You can create scheduled background tasks that just run on autopilot to solve these exact bottlenecks. For example, Matt directed the AI to clean up his incredibly chaotic downloads folder. We've all been there, right? Well, it scanned the mess, recognized the existing category folders he had already set up, and intelligently sorted 65 loose files into their proper homes. The whole shebang took just 1 minute and 23 seconds. He also pointed it at a folder of 21 cryptically named YouTube thumbnail images. The AI visually analyzed the content and the text inside every single image and renamed the files based on what it actually saw. Total time for that, 1 minute and 19 seconds. But hey, cleaning up files is really just the beginning. Let's transition our narrative from those micro tasks over to macro creations by introducing codecs. This is the dedicated developer workspace inside the new app, and it's powered by the incredibly robust GPT 5.6 Soul Ultra model. Listen, this isn't just some basic chatbot that spits out little snippets of code. This is a full-on workspace for writing, reviewing diffs, fixing bugs, and deploying complex software. The AI essentially scales up to act as your full-blown senior software developer. To show you what Codex is really capable of, let's look at some rapid-fire community examples. Matt Wolf used it to build Corner Post. This is a fully functional Craigslist clone with complex UI and categories. He also had it code Echo Garden, which is this highly unique 2D puzzle game where you actually collaborate with your own time-delayed clones to cross bridges and beat levels. And what is absolutely crucial to note here is that these projects don't look like your typical generic vibe-coded AI templates. They look incredibly clean, professional, and entirely bespoke. Taking things to a completely different medium, creator Nate Herc generated a 100% autonomous AI video. We are talking about a highly produced, talking head YouTube video where Nate never stood in front of a camera, he never recorded a second of audio, and he never even opened a video editor. He gave GPT 5.6 one single prompt. The AI then took over, interfacing with tools like HeyGen to create the avatar, writing the script, controlling the motion graphics, making the cuts, and executing the quality checks entirely on its own. We are officially moving past the days of standard prompting where you just type text and wait for text back. The new frontier is the Computer Use Agent, or CUA. And this brilliantly illustrates that shift. A user named Ava utilized the GPT 5.6 Soul Ultra model to build a 3D cannon inside the modeling software Blender. But here's the kicker. The AI didn't just write a script for Blender to execute. Using the Computer Use Agent, the AI actually took control of the graphical user interface. It physically moved the mouse, it clicked the menus, and it sculpted that 3D cannon on the screen in real time. Now, if taking over a mouse is impressive, the peak of this macro arc absolutely blew my mind. Creator Matt Schomer gave the AI a prompt to build a 3D interactive replica of a city. The AI spent nearly a week working completely autonomously, just churning through tokens day and night to code a highly detailed 3D voxel-based Manhattan totally from scratch. It didn't just pull some existing map API, it mathematically built the voxel city over hundreds of hours of autonomous computation. Just incredible. But okay, let's bring this narrative back down to earth for some practical, everyday business applications. Because you really don't have to build a 3D city to get massive value out of Codex. For instance, Matt used it to build a bespoke dashboard he calls the Wolf Control Tower. It pulls in real-time news from all the major AI labs, it alerts him to brand mentions across the web, it tracks live website traffic for all his domains, and aggregates his cross-platform social media growth. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars a month for multiple SaaS products, the AI just custom-built the exact perfect tool for his unique business needs. And it even empowers you to solve the smallest little frustrations in your day. Case in point, Matt likes to hide his Mac computer dock when he records videos and show it when he's not recording. Going into the system settings to toggle this took about 5 seconds and a few clicks every single time. So he just asked Codex to build a tiny micro app that connects to a physical button on his Stream Deck. Now he presses one button and the dock toggles. It's a completely bespoke piece of software built in seconds to solve a tiny 5-second annoyance. All of these examples, from cleaning files to building puzzle games to coding entire dashboards, require serious computational power. And that brings us to this massive number right here, 6.8 billion. That is the number of tokens Matt Wolf used in just one single day of building inside this app. So the crucial takeaway here is that this isn't just a gimmick or some novelty toy, it is a robust daily driver tool that creators and professionals are leaning on for heavy, continuous lifting. Which leaves us with the most important question of all. We've seen how the ChatGPT 5.6 update can act as a personal assistant that knows your business inside and out, and as a senior developer capable of building completely bespoke software on command. So, I want you to take a hard look at your own workflow. What annoying bottleneck, big or small, are you going to automate first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you build.